Hey guys, my name's Alex and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I wanted to talk about self-confidence. Being in high school, I know that literally every single person struggles with feeling confident in themselves. And if you don't have to struggle with that ever, you're probably lying to yourself. And I think this problem is something that any person ever will have to go through, trying to figure out how to feel confident within yourself. Up until last year, I was really unconfident and really insecure in myself. And honestly, that sucks. It is one of the worst feelings in the world to be around people and just feel like you're not enough, and to constantly compare yourself to them, and to constantly try to be more than you currently are, and not ever being okay with who you are. That feeling really sucks. So with that being said, I just have two really quick tips on how to be more confident in yourself. So my first tip is to be aware of where your confidence comes from. I'm just going to breeze through this point because I actually gave a TEDx youth talk about this very topic, about how we should not base our confidence on things like money and looks and things like that. And I'll post that link down in the description. Long story short, do not base your confidence off of things that you can't control. Try basing your confidence off of your values. Pick values that you find really important and then judge yourself based off of whether or not you can uphold those values. If you really value being courageous or being kind, stop asking yourself what grade you got on a test or how good looking you are. Ask yourself how kind of a person you are, or ask yourself whether or not you can stand up to your fears. I was the kid that in middle school just completely cared about being smarter than everyone. I wanted to feel like I was always the smartest, and I can tell you right now that if that is the path that you try to go down, it is only going to suck. There's only two possible options with going down that path. One, you always feel insecure because you are constantly going to be around people that are smarter than you. Or two, you create a world that is so small that you never really end up growing. You're never always going to be the best looking person or the smartest looking person or the richest person. So we want to pick things that we can control to base our confidence off of. The goal with building confidence is not to feel confident in the moment. I would say that the goal with building confidence is to build a feeling of self-confidence that's robust. Confidence that can withstand blows, where you might fail and you might get laughed at, but at the end of the day, you'll stand back up and you'll look at the person in the mirror and you'll still think that you're enough. We don't necessarily want confidence that is super fragile, that with a single insult from a person can just absolutely shatter you, that just moving into a room with better looking people can suddenly make you feel extremely insecure. And so the first part of this tip is to never base your confidence in things that you can't control. Things like money, looks, height, all those things you cannot control. Yet I would say a lot of the time, those are the things that we base our confidence off of. And then the second part to this first tip is to have at some level just a baseline of confidence in yourself. You need to be able to look in the mirror and just tell yourself that you are enough. Sometimes you won't be able to uphold your values. Sometimes you will feel lazy and you're just like, today is not the day. That is completely okay. Everyone feels lazy. Everyone has those moments. And to suddenly hate yourself over them is a horrible idea. While I definitely think you should base some part of your confidence off of your values, being able to uphold the things that you find important, I think that's really important to building your confidence. But at the end of the day, we're all human. We all are going to fail sometimes. And if we absolutely hate ourselves every single time we screw up, that's definitely not going to be a very good way to build your confidence. At the end of the day, no matter how many times you fail, you really just need to practice looking in the mirror and thinking that you are enough, that you don't need these things, that you don't need to be perfect, that you don't need, honestly, anything. At the end of the day, you have value because you are just enough. So my second piece of advice is to never feed insecurity or jealousy. I'll start this with a story, okay? I think that I am a pretty outgoing, sociable, likable, funny, charming guy. And a couple months ago, I was hanging out with this group of people, and there was this guy that is, in almost every single way, more charming than me, more likable, and more funny. And I really like this guy. He's a cool dude. And it's just, I instantly felt really insecure. I remember very specifically a moment where we were hanging out in a group and he said something funny. And instantly I felt the urge to have to prove myself to the group. I felt like I had to say something funny to show people that I was also funny, that he was not the only funny, charming guy in the group. And the instant I thought that, I realized I am extremely insecure and I'm really jealous of this guy right now. And as soon as that happened, I noticed that I was feeling jealous and insecure. I just let it pass. I was like, okay, I'm not going to say anything. I didn't say anything, so I just laughed along with his joke and I kept going. And I said absolutely nothing. And I did not let those feelings of insecurity or jealousy basically control me. And I think that is so powerful. Ever since that moment, there are times when I will feel jealous or I will feel insecure, and I will just let them go. I will recognize why I'm about to say something funny or why I'm about to do something, and if the answer is ever because I'm jealous or because I'm insecure, I will try my hardest not to do them. Knowing that you can just not act out of jealousy or not act out of insecurity is an extremely liberating feeling. Things like jealousy and insecurity are self-feeding. The more you feed jealousy and insecurity, the more insecure and the more jealous you'll become. And I know this for a fact. I know exactly what it feels like to compare yourself to your friends and not think that you're enough. Some of my friends are actually amazing. One of my friends is going to Yale. One of my friends is at Vanderbilt. A lot of my friends are college athletes, or they're going to be college athletes, on top of being incredibly smart. And I have this friend group that is just really high achieving, and it's really easy to compare myself to them and just think that I'm not enough or to get jealous of them. And just the more I think about being jealous and the more I do things because I'm jealous, the worse off it gets. Just recognizing that I'm on my own path, that I don't need to act out of jealousy or insecurity, that I can actually just let it go, is probably one of the most liberating feelings in the world. I've been able to do it a lot more, and obviously I'm not perfectly secure within myself or anything like that. I've still got a long way to go, but I think I've made a lot of progress. So at the end of the day, I'm nowhere near being as confident as I want to be. It's still like a really, really long journey, but I think I've made like tremendous progress from the kid that I used to be. And so I just wanted to share those tips with you guys. First, knowing where your confidence comes from. Ideally, it's going to be a mixture of your own values and just having an inherent belief that you are enough. And second, it's going to be never feed jealousy or insecurity. They will always come back and make you more jealous and more insecure. Learn to let those feelings go. And I think that's all I have to say for today, guys. Thanks for watching.